Amanda, congratulations.
Thank you.
Pretty dominant. I don't even think you got touched in there at all. So I got to ask, I mean, how happy are you with a performance like that tonight?
Very happy. Very, very happy. Very special for me. And share this with my baby was amazing.
It looked like once you had her hurt and on the ground, you could kind of pick the way you wanted to finish the fight. I mean, you probably could have struck. You probably could have gone for the choke. You went for the arm bar. What did you see that you wanted to go for that?
You know, in all my training camp, that position was always come out. Like I take my training partner down, that position was always there. So, and when I saw the opportunity tonight, I take it. I saw she was hurt, but tonight, my strategy was finish her in the floor.
It seems like your most dominant wins are coming at 145 pounds. Do you feel more comfortable at 145 than 135?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I feel more powerful, and the diet is better for me, easy. So I feel really comfortable in this weight class.
Yeah. I think there were questions coming in, you know, obviously you're a new mom and, you know, would that distract you, or would your domination, you know, make it difficult for you to focus or be motivated? I mean, is there anything that interrupts, you know, your focus or your drive as a fighter?
No, actually, since my daughter born was the best thing happened in my life. You know, she brought something for me, like making me a better person, you know, more happy. At the house, like full of love. So what is can get wrong with that? So she really like, she's supposed to be sleepy. She waited to watch my fight, and now she went sleepy. It's crazy. She's supposed to be sleepy. And she went in the cage. She was awake, unbelievable. So I was very happy to share with her tonight, because she really make me a better person, and I wanna give this victory to her tonight. So I'm very happy she stay awake. It was a miracle.
Obviously, you know, you're a dominant champion. You don't have to call anybody out. People come to you. But Juliana Pena was on social media, and she said her fight with Holly Holm is off with Holly injured, and she wants to fight you and thinks that she's a deserving contender. Do you believe that? Is that a fight that interests you at all?
So Holly is off, so she can fight Jermaine. You know, I feel like she have to get in the mix, you know, but we'll see. I'm gonna go back down. I'm gonna go see my diet, because now I'm pretty heavy. So yeah, I feel like I'm a champion, you know. I never is gonna turn it off fight. I'm gonna be facing who else, no matter what the night wanted to do. So I'm gonna do it.
Last thing for me, I mean, there's no argument that you're the greatest female of all time. What do you want to accomplish? I think people are wondering, like, how much you want to keep doing this. You probably got some money in the bank. Again, your reputation is solid. What are your goals? What more do you want to accomplish in your career?
I feel like it's memories, you know, with my family, and keep it going, my legacy. So this is my job, you know. I love to do this. I love to go to the gym, training, get better and better. I feel like I getting older, I get much better. So I want to keep it going, and then see what is gonna happen for sure. Whatever the life wanna give to me, or whatever. If I decide to stop, or I don't know. We never know. So, but I'm gonna face it no matter what, or who the white one I face. I will.
Amanda, to your right, congratulations.
Thank you.
Did you feel like the first punch of the fight that you hit her with, that you kind of shook her up and that she wasn't the same after that?
Yeah, I think the first one was the one really open, giving me to think about my next step, like my strategy. I always say the whole week, soon the first exchange, I get the first exchange, I will put in my game plan. So my game plan was finish her on the floor, you know, and I always be able to get it.
And what was your, what did you do to make up for the height? Like, you don't normally fight somebody that much taller than you. So what did you do in training to try to, you know, kind of be able to strike with her the way you did?
I have a training partner is the same size as her. So it's the whole time I train with him, and he have the same kind of style too. So that was very, I don't say easy, because she's a very tough opponent. She know how to use it very well, her reach. And I, I feel like I was fast for her. And I was be able to connect first.
You think, sometimes like in boxing, Mike Tyson, when he was the champion, would intimidate fighters right before. And it seemed to me that, Megan had that with you, like it almost like your aura of what you have accomplished in the past, she brought into the cage with her. Did you sense that she was a little tentative and not as, aggressive as she might have been in other fights?
My help for sure, because I've been there before. I was challenged before. And when I fought Misha Tate, I was like, think about it, what she did in this sport, and then for sure going through your mind things. But if you're not ready for that moment, you will not be able to get it. So the difference between me and her was when I was at UFC 200, I was ready to be a champion. So I'm 100% sure tonight she's not supposed to be in that. She's supposed to be in that. She's not supposed to be a champion.
My last question for you is, you were watching what Joe Rogan said when you walked in, and he's talking about, no challengers and only Valentina moving up. How do you avoid falling into the trap of, thinking nobody's a legitimate challenger when everybody writes that? Everybody says there's no challenger. Somebody like Joe Rogan, that knowledgeable, says that. How do you avoid just, not getting complacent?
I feel like if you don't want to get challenged, you are in the wrong sport. This is MMA. You have to get challenged. You have to have all those girls call your name. I'm the best. Everybody gonna call me right now. You're gonna see every single woman, even the girls in another show, is gonna call me out. So it is what it is. No matter what, I'm gonna step in the cage and I'm gonna defend my belt. Who is in front of me? I'm gonna pass through.
Amanda over here, to your left. Right. Amanda, with this one, if I'm not mistaken, you've now won 12 fights in a row. There's only a couple guys who have won 13 in a row, and only one has won more than 13. You've already made so much history, and you're already right there to make two more fights. Can you put into words just what it's like to be in this kind of zone for so long?
It's amazing. I feel like all my dreams come true. I've been working for this, and I look forward to break the records, of course. And yeah, I'm happy. I feel like I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna break these records. I'm gonna get that.
There's gonna be people who say, Amanda, there's nobody left at 145. If they find someone, you will be back here and you will keep defending, correct?
Yeah, for sure.
And then my final question, your teammate, Kayla Harrison, her contract is up at the end of this year at PFL. Do you think that she's going to come to the UFC after?
This is business, I feel like everybody wanna keep it doing, She have her path, I have mine. If we have to see each other, we're gonna have to.
With the new baby, how do you celebrate a win like tonight? You can't stay out and party.
Yeah, but I feel like she's amazing, and I can't wait to spend some time with her. Oh, she's waking. So yeah, I'm gonna have some beer right now, get together with everybody, and talk about the fight a little bit. Of course, I'm gonna enjoy my baby tonight, stay with her as long as possible. And this victory tonight was for her. She really is a genuinely good baby. She helped me my whole camp. My days has been happier than before. So tonight, I'm glad that I shine for her.
How is she in the gym? Does the sound of the pads and the belts and everything, does she like it, or does it keep her awake when you bring her?
She loves it. She stay there. Usually I bring her in the car seat, and I put her right there in the mat, and then she stay watching we training, and she laugh, she enjoy, she participated. It's pretty cool. I'm very happy.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Amanda, vou fazer em português aqui, por favor. Faz algum tempo já que depois das suas vitórias a pergunta é sempre em relação ao seu legado. Parece não haver mais desafios para você no MMA. O que na sua visão ainda falta para você, para o seu legado, até onde você quer chegar?
Honestamente, eu acho que eu vou continuar, estou bem, entendeu? Estou bem mentalmente, tô bem fisicamente. Eu acho que esse é meu trabalho. É o que eu quero continuar fazendo, lutar, defender meu cinturão e ver, porque sempre tem algo, né, lá na frente. Sempre tem alguma coisa, sempre aparece um novo desafio. E aí eu quero estar, entendeu? Eu quero estar ativa, né, defendendo e ver o que vai chegar pela frente.
Seu próximo compromisso vai ser na 61, peso galo?
Eu acredito que sim, mas a gente nunca sabe, né? O UFC eles sempre estão aí, pô, mexendo os pauzinhos para poder fazer grandes lutas acontecerem. Então, vamos ver o que vai acontecer daqui para frente.
Falando agora da maternidade, né? Agora que você é mãe, o que isso mudou na sua rotina? Você acha que vai influenciar talvez o número de lutas que você possa fazer no ano?
Eu acho que não. Eu acho que o que mudou realmente na minha vida é que eu estou mais feliz, assim, sabe? Todo momento eu tenho mais amor no coração, assim, sabe? Não que eu não tinha, mas a Reagan com certeza trouxe mais, assim, trouxe algo diferente para nossas vidas. Então, eu sou muito grata a ela pela pessoa que eu sou hoje. Assim, mudei muito como pessoa e estou mudando cada vez mais. Eu estou adorando ser mãe, né? Quero participar da vida dela assim full time. E pô, eu acho que não tem coisa melhor do que você poder dividir tudo isso que eu estou vivendo com alguém, assim, com minha família, né? Que eu estou construindo agora, minha família no Brasil, a todos os fãs, a todo mundo. Eu acho que eu estou num momento muito especial da minha vida e estou dividindo, e principalmente com ela, né? Que foi tão boazinha no meu camp inteiro, dormiu pra caramba, levava para academia, ela assistia o treino. Então, assim, ela ajudou muito, uma criança muito, muito boa, sabe? E fez tudo ficar muito prazeroso para mim. Eu ia para academia feliz, voltava para casa feliz, porque eu sabia que eu ia ver ela também, entendeu? E, pô, só estou aproveitando minha vida e quero agradecer muito ao Criador do céu e da terra por estar me dando essa oportunidade de viver tudo isso. E se depender de mim, se eu puder ajudar as pessoas através disso, né? Que, como eu consegui, várias pessoas pode também. Eu acho que eu estou aqui por algum motivo, né? E eu fico muito feliz por isso.
Em julho desse ano, completam 5 anos da conquista do primeiro cinturão. Esse ciclo se fechando, 5 anos invicta. Como você analisa?
Amém, né?
Você tem alguma celebração especial para julho, para essa data?
Com certeza eu devo tomar uma cervejinha, fazer um churrasquinho. Eu acho que lembrar é sempre bom, né? Lembrar de tudo, dos momentos, de todos os momentos que eu passei para chegar até aqui. Eu acho que é válido sempre estar lembrando e assim, e ter as pessoas também que fizeram parte disso para mim é muito, muito importante. Assim, eu com certeza eu me tornei uma pessoa melhor, não só pelas pessoas, pela minha família, mas por tudo que está acontecendo na minha vida, entendeu? Então, assim, se está acontecendo muita coisa boa e pô, tá me levando para um plano melhor na minha vida, ser uma pessoa melhor a cada dia, né? E tá tudo perfeito, muito perfeito, assim. Eu estou muito, muito feliz, assim, muito grata mesmo, assim, ao Criador do céu e da terra.
Última pergunta. Você tem 2 cinturões, o Brasil está voltando a aumentar a popularidade, agora com o Davidson, enfim. Você tem o desejo de se tornar um grande ídolo, talvez o rosto do MMA no Brasil, fazer mais campanhas lá, enfim, investir essa parte, como o Anderson foi, agora que o Anderson saiu do UFC, você tem esse desejo próprio de ser o rosto do MMA no Brasil?
Então, assim, eu já sou o rosto do MMA no Brasil, né? Eu sou brasileira, pô, eu levo meu sangue brasileiro, entendeu? Eu saí do Brasil porque eu queria algo melhor para minha vida, entendeu? E eu sabia que aqui nos Estados Unidos eu ia conseguir com uma rapidez maior, entendeu? Eu consegui mais ajuda, mais patrocínios, mais tudo, assim, sabe? Então, mas eu continuo sendo brasileiro, eu continuo levando o nome do Brasil, nunca mudei nada no UFC, apesar de eu ter meus papéis aqui na América já também, nunca mudei nada, nunca tive esse pensamento de um dia eu virar cidadã e querer mudar. Não, eu sempre vou levar o nome do Brasil, entendeu? E, pô, se eu não sou, se não me considera ser a cara do MMA no Brasil só porque eu moro aqui, tem alguma coisa errada aí, entendeu? Eu acho que foi essa a pergunta?
Não, não,
Ou...
não.
Então, valeu.
Amanda back
Hey,
here.
Amanda, back to your right over here. Over here. Just curious, you've accomplished so many things in the UFC. Is there anything else that stands out as an achievement that you still want to accomplish? Anything at all? Maybe you want Dana's job. Is there anything that you want now?
Eu acho que continuar defendendo meus cinturões. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I think I just want to keep doing this, keep defending my belts and see what happens in the future. Like so many things is gonna happen from now on, So I want to take a chance to step back a little bit and see what is gonna happen, to see my next step. So, but I do want to do something when I retire, I want to be involved. I want to be around of the UFC for sure, get a job here maybe. So let's see. It's gonna be my next job after I'm done with this.
And then just last thing, I'm curious, what's it like fighting at the Apex compared to fighting in front of, 20,000 fans?
I feel very good, with the fans, without the fans, I feel very good. I'll be able to listen my quotes. I feel like it's not that like, it's not have a lot of noises, the fans, but it's kind of cool too with the fans, It's both. I feel like it's like we miss the fans as well, but like I feel like it's cool in both ways. So I'm just happy to be able to step with fans, without fans, and get the job done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Amanda back here. Just being in the position you are as, the consensus greatest of all time female fighter, I'm curious what you would say has been the defining moment for women in MMA?
Say it again, the question?
What would you say has been the defining moment throughout history in, women's mixed martial arts?
Defining, like, the biggest moments? I have a lot of big moments, honestly. Like, my fight against Chris Cyborg was one of the biggest, against Ronda, against so many. Tonight was a big one. UFC 200, when I become it, like, was so many. I feel like the women's MMA, like in the UFC, it grows so fast. If it depends on me, like it's gonna go to the top.
Yeah, and you just mentioned Chris Cyborg right there. She had a bus outside, which who knows what that means. But what do you make of her, continued interest in a rematch with you? Is that something that, if possible, you would like to run back?
Yeah, if she would stay, I don't have any problem giving the rematch to her. But she left, so that is not my fault.
Well, congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
Amanda, to your right, your far left. Just two questions for me. Megan had said that one of the differences she thought you would face in hers is her power, and that you hadn't faced anyone with that amount of power before. Did you feel her power at all? And were you surprised at how quickly that fight ended?
I don't remember if I got hit or something. I was so like determined to finish that fight. But I want to take a look back in the fight. Soon I go in the room. I don't remember, but the adrenaline was so high that I didn't even remember if I get hit. This is like...
Finally, for me, your daughter will have a very different life than you did growing up. Can you put that in perspective? Have you thought about that at all?
Yeah, I did. Me and Nina talk about have a daughter for so long, and I want to I always tell her calm, because I want to get my finances together, I don't want to just put a kid in the earth and then wandering. I want to be able to have her college and everything ready to go, I don't want to she's struggling, or if she have to work, she's going to, but I want to be able to have everything, set up. and I want to be able to like don't worry about it too much. I want to really like just live, enjoy my life with her when she born. So, and she's here. She come in the perfect moment. We like in a perfect financial moment right now, and we of course like we want to do everything to help her. If she want to be a fighter, like I don't know about that, but it's very hard. Now I know how my mom and Nina's father feels. I don't know if I want to see my daughter get hit. But if she started doing behind my back, and then I have to step up, and then I have to help her. But yeah, I feel like she's gonna have like a guide better than how I had growing up. But my mom was amazing. She really did everything she could. I always have food growing up. I have always have my my things together, the necessary things. I don't have much, but I always have a little, but I was good enough to grow healthy and be the woman that I am today. So I'm very happy with all the work my mom did, and what I learned from her, I want to do with my daughter. So of course in a little better way, but I learned from her a lot.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Fala pessoal, tranquilo? Tá me ouvindo bem? Meu áudio tá bom, pessoal? Vocês me escutam? Maravilha, Marcos, obrigado. Bom, é isso. Estamos esperando aqui o Adesanya e o Blachowicz. Vocês pegaram aí a premiação de prêmios bônus? Luta da noite foi Kennedy Carlos Ulberg e performance foi o Kai Kara France e o Urus Medic. às vezes eu pego uma interferência, valeu, Mamute. A luta em si do Marreta foi decepcionante. A luta, né? Respeito excessivo dos dois. A luta do Ian, né? Aquilo que a gente viu, um erro absurdo. O Joe Rogan falou que o Khabib falou para ele que o erro foi do corner. Alguém do corner falou pro Ian que ele podia golpear. O som tava baixo, né? O Joe Rogan falou que o Khabib falou para ele que alguém do corner informou, né? Gritou pro Ian que ele poderia golpear. E daí ele aplicou aquele golpe legal. Vocês repararam que o Marreta trocou a base no primeiro assalto, lutou de canhoto? Achei curioso isso. Nunca vi o Marreta fazer isso por tanto tempo. Toda Amanda não tem nada pra falar, né? Acho que a Juliana Penha desafiou. Acho que... Cara, a Amanda e a Valentina vai ter que... Se a Valentina vencer a Jéssica, tem que rolar de novo, não tem como. Leandro, na hora ele perguntou pro Corner, não? O Corner tá vendo? Se o Corner disse pra golpear, ele acredita no Corner, né? Vai ver, o Corner tá vendo, o cara levantou os dois joelhos. A Dana White chegou, pessoal.
All right, gang. The fight of the night was, where's the fight of the night? No, it's performance. All right. Yeah, I got it. Kennedy versus Olberg is fight of the night. Kai Kara France, performance of the night. And Euros, performance of the night. They all won $50,000. Congrats.
Dana, I wanted to ask you about the main event. Maybe not quite the barn burner that everybody was hoping for, but it ended up being kind of a technical battle. What did you think about the way the fight played out, and of course, how the scores played out?
Yeah, it's one of those things where when you get two of the best in the world and they fight, you know, it's like you said, it can turn into not a barn burner. You know, it's very technical and safety first, one of those type of fights. Scoring is insane. These guys are giving out 10-8 rounds like fucking. There were 2 rounds in that fight that they gave a 10-8. Now, when I came up in the fight business, a 10-8 was an ass whooping. You got your ass whooped. You didn't do shit in that round and got beat down if it was a 10-8. They got to stop giving this 10-8 shit's out of control right now. So hopefully we can get this fixed, and they're going to screw up a lot of fights there. They're handing out 10-8s like that. There was no 10-8 in that fight.
Israel obviously comes up short in his bid to become a champ, but I'm just curious kind of what you think this does for him long-term legacy. I mean, he took a chance, right? I mean, he took a big shot by moving up. So does this impact him negatively, or ultimately does this maybe be a positive that he rolled the dice like this?
Listen, he's the middleweight champ. He doesn't get the light heavyweight title. He doesn't fight John Jones. But you know what? You can never hurt somebody for thinking big and trying to become great. You know, he gave it a shot tonight and didn't happen. And, you know, Jan is the man. He is the 205-pound champ, and now he starts taking on all comers in that weight division.
Yeah. I was gonna say, do you think it kind of legitimizes Jan as the champion? I mean, not that he wasn't the champ already, but you know, some people said, "Oh, well, it's only because John left," you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Listen, this guy's a tough guy. You've seen all the guys that Izzy's fought and what he's done. You know, Jan's a tough guy. Jan, when I got up in the octagon, I put the belt on him tonight. He turned around, looked at me, and said, "You don't believe in me." I said, "What the fuck did I do? How did I not believe in you?" These guys are crazy, man. You know, they're very. It's the word I'm looking for. They're very. I don't know. They're fucking crazy. That's what it is. It's the word I'm looking for. I've nothing but say good things about the guy, but yeah, he thinks I don't believe in him.
You want to tell him now you believe in him?
Yes. I was stunned. I was like, what? What did I ever say to make you think that I don't believe in you?
He said that he'd be kind of interested in fighting Glover to share next. Glover was the backup. Do you view Glover as the number one contender right now?
Yeah. Glover is 100%.
The GOAT in the women's division in the co-main event, obviously just an absolute devastating win. What did you think about Amanda this evening?
She's incredible, and she goes in there and she made it look easy tonight against a really tough girl who hits hard and who came to win. So couldn't happen to a better human being. She's one of the sweetest people on earth, and I'm really happy for her. And we're talking about turning her around quick here for the 135-pound title, since tonight was an easy night for her. So we'll see how it goes.
I think she got out healthy. Juliana Pena stepped up and said, "Hey, Holly Holm is out of our fight. I think I should be the one to challenge for that title." Is that the fight that you'd like to make at 135?
Juliana Pena has been texting all of us all night. She's been busy tonight. Yeah, we could do that.
And then weirdness, of course, in the bantamweight title fight, right? The first ever champ to be crowned via disqualification. Man, what did you think watching that whole thing play out?
Yeah, it sucked. It was a good fight. I mean, that was a fight that everybody was excited about tonight. Everybody knew it was going to be good. And, well, that's a bad one.
Yeah. Both guys want to run it back. I mean, it was a very competitive fight. Safe to say we put that one back together again?
Yeah, as soon as possible.
Fair enough.
Aljo went to the hospital. He's cleared. Nothing wrong with him.
Good. I want to ask you, I mean, the whole card was loaded, right? I mean, it's the top to bottom. There were a lot of big names. The bonuses all went to fighters on the prelims. But a name that had some buzz was Sean Brady, this undefeated guy, taps out. You know, Jake Matthews, a stud. And a lot of people are kind of buzzing around him. Is he kind of on your radar? What do you think about him at this point?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. That guy's an absolute stud, man. And, you know, the Matthews fight for him was a big fight. And you're right. Matthews is tough as nails. Has a great record, and Brady looked good tonight again.
Last thing for me, what can you tell us about Dominic Cruz and Hans Molenkamp? What is the story there? And I mean, is this an issue? Obviously, Monster is a big presenting sponsor of the organization. So what's going on here?
Yeah, listen, it's all weird. You know, is Hans a goofy dude? Yeah, he's a very goofy dude. But they're a sponsor. I mean, these guys are a sponsor. That they're great sponsors. They pay these guys a lot of money. You know, Monster is one of these companies that really takes care of people, and it's their company. They can sponsor whoever they want. They can run their business however they want. This isn't like a work situation where you're working for somebody and you're not happy about the way you're being treated. This is a sponsorship deal. You know, these guys can spend their money and run their company however they want to. And nobody's guaranteed money from a sponsor. There's no, you know, it's a privilege to get money from a sponsor. So if you don't like the way they do business, don't do business with them, you know? But they've been good. They've been good to us. They've been good to the sport, and they've definitely been good to the fighters, you know? I get it. He doesn't like him, and, you know, some guys have a problem with him, and, you know, it's easy to figure that one out. But Monster as a company, they've been solid, man. They couldn't be any better. Remember the first time that I ever talked to the owner to do a deal with those guys? We had talked about numbers, and then he was like, yeah, no, I want to give the fighters an extra 25,000. And I was like, holy shit. He's like, yeah, no, we take care of people, and we, you know, they're a damn good company, solid, and they take care of people, you know? Everybody needs to realize that when you get a sponsorship deal and you get sponsorship money, it's a privilege. It's not something that you're owed. That's my 2 cents.
Night, Dana. I'm
Yeah.
here. Good night. Igor Lazarin, News Agency Russia. Dana, Petr Yan said that he wants to rematch. Are you ready to make it?
Yep.
And when?
I have no fucking idea. I mean, it just happened an hour ago. Tuesday, we'll get together and we'll figure out where that fight fits, because Sterling wants the rematch too. They both want the rematch. You got to do the rematch. We'll figure it out.
Dana, just going back to the Dominic Cruz hands.
You have another one? Hold on a second.
Sorry, mate.
You guys are jumping all over each other. Kevin was next,
Thank
but
you.
go ahead.
Thank you. Islam Makhachev wants to face against Tony Ferguson. What do you think about it?
What do I think about Tony Ferguson?
About Islam
Against
Makhachev
Makhachev.
against Tony
Makhachev.
Ferguson. Makhachev against Tony
Oh.
Ferguson. Yep.
Makachev versus Tony Ferguson?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I sure. Yeah. I like it. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm sure that'd be a great fight. Is that what somebody wants?
It's not about this card, but one question about Zabit Magomed Sharipov. His last fight was, I don't know, years ago. Do you have a plan for him and maybe options?
Who's this?
Zabit Magomed Sharipov.
Oh, Zabit.
Zabit, yep.
Yeah, I don't know. What's going on with the beat? Yeah, we're working on it.
Great, thank you.
All right. Kevin,
Do you feel size was a factor in the main event?
do I feel size?
Size was a factor. In the
Size is always a factor when you move up a weight class in this sport.
Especially going, it wasn't going bantamweight to featherweight. You were going middleweight to light heavy, where you got a 20-pound difference. Do you think that showed itself there?
It was definitely a factor. It was weight was a factor. When you move up a weight class like that, strength is a factor. How hard these guys hit is a factor. And Jan is the real deal. If you look at and think about what you personally and everyone else thought of Israel Adesanya going into this fight, Jan fought a great fight against him. So,
And Izzy losing, I mean, obviously it kills a number of big fights for you. Do you think it drops him pound for pound, because he was a middleweight? He was number 3 ranked in the division, and pound for pound is, if everybody was the same, he fought somebody who wasn't the same. Do you think he should hold his spot where he was, or do you think because he performed the way he did and judges had it 4 rounds to 1 that maybe he was too hot?
yeah, I think it definitely. First of all, I think we can all agree, and I'm not defending Israel Adesanya here, that fight wasn't 4-1. That's batshit nuts. If anybody watched that fight and thinks that fight's 4-1, you're nuts. It was even going into the last round. And Israel was winning the first half of the round. Then Jan took him down and won the fight in the second half of the round. The only thing that makes that fight 4-1 are ridiculous 10-8 rounds. I mean, who in this room thinks that fight was 4-1? Anybody? Tell me if you do. No? Yeah, not one person in here. People who watch fights every fucking weekend think that was 4-1. It's a big problem right now with judging that needs to be fixed.
And just to switch to the Sterling fight a second, to me it looked like it was an intentional knee. I know Peter said it was not. What was your thought when you watched it, live? I mean, that's the only way to judge.
Do I think that the knee was intentional?
Yeah.
Yeah. He threw the knee. Yeah, he threw the knee. I mean, he didn't slip and accidentally land the knee.
No, but it was like he it's pretty obvious he was down, right? So, I mean, fighters know that's the rule.
Yeah. It was an intentional knee.
So
He got hit with a knee. I saw some guys on the internet saying it didn't even land. Oh, it landed. It landed. I felt it.
But I guess what I was getting
like,
at is,
oh
it wasn't
my
like he was
God,
halfway up or something.
kidding me.
It wasn't like he was halfway up. I mean, he was clearly clearly still down. I mean, so what goes through a guy's mind in a situation like that?
I think that there's a lot of fatigue, frustration. It was a good fight. But the thing is, he was turning it on. He was starting to win the fight. He was starting to absolutely positively take control of that fight. He was winning. You could see Aljamain Sterling breaking. Why you throw that knee, I couldn't tell you.
And then my last question for you, Dana, is given what Izzy tried to do and was unable to do, does that show just how hard the double champ thing is and tell you about Amanda, what, how great she is for being able to do what she's able to do?
100%. The double champ thing, it's like the thing to do right now, but it isn't easy to do. The people who have done it are absolutely positively special. And for somebody like Amanda Nunes, to keep both belts and keep defending both belts at the same time, pretty badass.
So Dana, you mentioned in the past that you saw someone like Max Holloway go up a division and he looked too small for it,
Yep.
and you didn't want to see it again. Do you feel similar to Israel, or could he work his way back up, put on some pounds, and then maybe go to 205 in the future?
Well, think about this. John Jones used to be at that weight class. I mean, John's going to be so much bigger than Israel. I think Israel should focus on middleweight right now. Get back in there and, keep doing what he does in the middleweight division.
Going back to the Dominic Cruz situation just briefly, when he was up here speaking to us post-fight, he mentioned that you'd made a comment on hands before and stuff like that. Did you have any idea he was going to say that if he won the fight?
No, I had no idea. I had no idea that I knew that they had problems in the past. There are fighters who have had problems with the guy. But no, I didn't know any of this was going to happen. No.
Cool. And then just outside of this event, the Venom deal is meant to start next month. Is that right?
Yes.
When will we be able to see some of the stuff they got coming? And
Oh yeah. When is that? When?
Cool.
April 10th.
The Darren Till Vittori card. I'm using that. I'll say if Darren Till beats Vittori, is he the logical next contender for Israel Adesanya?
I have no idea. I don't know. We'll see.
Cheers, Dan.
Okay.
Dana, right behind him. Did you hear what Tim Elliott had to say against Jordan Espinoza?
No.
They had a conversation. He said he called Jordan Espinoza a woman beater. Said someone messaged him on Facebook with photos of what Jordan Espinoza did to her and stuff. Is that something you have to look into if it's true or?
I have no idea about that.
And then finally, did you catch any streamers? This fight?
No, we didn't. You weren't you supposed to tell me about that? No, I don't. No, I don't think we did. Yeah.
Dana in the back.
Yeah.
To your far left by the wall.
Hi, how are you?
Hey there. Amanda Nunes is a once in a generation type of talent. When did you see that? When did you think that perhaps she would be the most special fighter in UFC female history?
That's a good question. Her and I started becoming close. I'm trying to think of what fight it was before. I always liked the Cyborg fight for her. So, we would go to dinner and we would talk about, a matchup with her and Cyborg, and the way that she knocked Cyborg out is when I knew.
Actually, you mentioned Cyborg. Did you know that she had a promotional van parked on the side?
Yeah. Listen, touche to her. I put out a video with her getting knocked out from 57 different angles the other day. So touche for parking her van out front.
Dan over here.
Yeah.
I want to know, obviously, when you have a big star just come up immediately, it's very impressive. But when you have a guy like Jan Blachowicz, he started out 2-4, and it looked like championships weren't on his radar as much as job security, maybe. What's it like to see him have a night like tonight and just make that complete 180 in his career to be one of the top guys now in the company?
Yeah, no, I'm happy for the guy. He went in there. That's what this fight was all about. This fight was, is Israel going to beat Jan and go on to superstardom and possibly fight John Jones at heavyweight? Tonight was big, and it was fun because, of all the great fights on the card and the storylines on some of these, including that one. But if Jan wins, everybody knows who Jan is on Sunday, and he defeats Israel Adesanya and solidifies himself as one of the top guys in the company.
You've laid out, we obviously have another big pay-per-view at the end of the month. You already announced big stuff for April and June. People are wondering about what does he have planned for May? Can you reveal anything that you're working on?
Yeah, I mean, we're laying out lots of stuff right now. And we have a lot of big fights, a lot of fun fights coming up, and a lot of things that are going to impact the sport. And, it's going to be a really good year. Really good year. I don't have anything to tell you about May, but I can tell you it's all good.
A lot of people were very excited about this card. Obviously, there's a lot of, it's a big night for you. Do you celebrate like the fighters do? Do you say, hey, we had a great night of fights after a big pay-per-view?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. Listen, I'm either in a really good mood or a really bad mood after a fight. So, I definitely celebrate one way or the other. Yeah. I mean, I'm super emotional about, how we do on Saturday nights.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Two more quick ones. Any numbers trending for this one? Do you have any numbers you can share?
It was a good night. It was a really good night. I mean, do I ever share the numbers? I don't know.
Sometimes you just say like, this is trending #1 in America and all this.
We were, is Eric in here? I mean, all night. What was weird was we started, early on, we started trending crazy in Canada and then Brazil, even before the fight started. And, it was a big night for us internationally. Internationally, this was a hot fight.
And finally, do you have to have a conversation with Joseph Benavidez? He said he's probably not fighting for a title anytime soon, just lost to another top-ranked fighter. You said you wanted to have these conversations with like Tyron and JDS and everyone. Do you have to have a conversation with him too?
No.
Hey, Dana.
Yeah.
With Amanda Nunes continuing her dominance, there's one featherweight matchup booked with Danielle Wolf and Felicia Spencer. Depending on the outcome of that, is it potentially a situation where we don't see a fight booked in the female featherweight division for a long time?
No, we'll get together on that on Tuesday and figure out what's next. And listen, we'll keep that division cranking as long as the champ wants to defend it.
Since the bombshell you made about Texas a couple of days ago, I'm sure your phone's being blown up. Is there any advancements in moving UFC 260 to the state of Texas?
Yeah, the governor is claiming that Texas is open. I talked to him, and he wants to open Texas. He wants all businesses to resume, but these mayors in these towns feel differently. So it's unfortunate.
Hey, Dana, back here to your right. Islam Makhachev had a big win tonight against Drew Dober. Just want to get your thoughts on him and kind of where he stands in the lightweight division.
Yeah, no, he put on a great performance against a very tough, durable guy. And the choke that he pulled off tonight, was ridiculous. I don't know if you guys saw what I saw, but when he was squeezing his neck, when he had him in that, there was muscles popping out of like the back of his fucking neck and shoulders that I've never seen before. I didn't even know existed. It's pretty crazy because you look at Drew Dober, that's a solid, tough, strong guy. It was pretty badass.
Habib was obviously here in his corner. Just wanted to check to see if maybe it had a conversation with them at all.
We did. I said, hey, how about September? He laughed like you did.
Did he say anything else besides
He
that?
just laughed. That's all he did.
So
Yeah, we're gonna go to dinner.
this weekend?
Yeah.
Okay. And last thing for me, of all the ways that the UFC has succeeded in the last year, where would you rank the Apex as being, on that list of?
We were talking
having
about it tonight. That's a great question. We were talking about it tonight. If you look at, what's been done through 2020 and 2021 so far here in this building, not just the fights, but facilitating you guys and the Contender Series. The Ultimate Fighter is going to be shot here. The governor's announcing Texas is open. Texas isn't open. So as frustrating as it is for me, I'm ready to go. I will move March 27th to Texas today if one of these places would open, but they're not doing it. But at the end of the day, oh well, we'll all just stay here at the Apex. You know, I don't know if you guys are getting as comfy here as I am and lazy. You know, it's pretty easy to swing over here and just walk in and do what we do here. So we can do this forever. And yes, the answer to your question is the Apex is one of the smartest things we've done in 20 years. And timing is everything in life. This place was done just in time for a global pandemic.
I know Fight Island kind of got all the headlines in the press, but I mean, would you say this is the most indispensable part of you know, the pandemic for you guys?
Yeah, well, this and Fight Island was a really big deal because we can only do so many fights here before, you know, we burn out all the American talent and you have to start having international fights. And we would have been in big trouble without Fight Island. So I would say they were equally as important.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Dana, back here.
Yeah.
You know, you mentioned the problems with judging these days that we've been having, and I know that in the past you've banned referees from officiating at UFC events. Is it possible to do the same with judges?
I don't think that's necessary. I just think that for some reason, all of a sudden, these guys are scoring 10-8s for rounds that are clearly not 10-8s. I mean, how did you address this? I mean, what do you think? It's the criteria they're giving them right now. I think they're getting some bad advice. Yeah.
And, you know, UFC 261, you said was kind of targeted or looked at for Singapore. Just like kind of curious what happened with that situation.
We're still going to Singapore. It's just not when we thought we were.
Okay, so not that event then.
The world is really fucked up right now.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
All right, Dan, thanks.
Cool. Have a great weekend, you guys. Thank you.
Fala pessoal, voltei. Vocês. O mic tá zoado, hein? Caramba. Vê se melhorou agora. Ó, a dezena vai vir. Tá, me confirma se tá ruim ainda. E se vocês têm alguma pergunta, vou fazer um resumão aqui do que ele falou antes da dezena chegar. Aí ele criticou muito o 10-8, deram um 10-8 ali na luta da dezena, né? Disse que estava empatado 2-2 até o último assalto. Criticou os árbitros, né? Essa indicação por dar 10-8. Disse que é impossível ter o Blachowicz ter vencido 4 assaltos. Abriu as portas para Amanda Nunes enfrentar a Juliana Penha. Negou, obviamente, né, que o Adesanya vai enfrentar o John Jones, óbvio que ele perdeu. Cravou, né, que o Glover vai ser o próximo desafiante do Blachowicz. Isso é importante. Deu parecer favorável para que o Peter Yan enfrente, faça revanche imediata contra o Sterling. Olha só, a Adesanya chegou.
Israel, of course, losses are not something you had to deal with very often. So just talk to us right now about just kind of the emotion as you kind of let everything process.
No, losses are part of life, and losses is something I deal with occasionally. This is my first one in MMA, but yeah, as they say, it is what it is. If I was gonna lose to anyone, what better guy to lose to than a guy like Jan, a classy champion, a cool dude, a very nice guy, a guy who has a great story in himself, on his way of getting cut from the company, comes back and then dominates, becomes a light heavyweight champion, and then hands this guy, a future legend, his first loss. Yeah, if I was going to lose to anyone, I'm glad I lost to him.
Ended up being a pretty tactical battle on the feet. I mean, can you talk about, I guess, kind of what your game plan was and how it played out versus what you thought you were going to see tonight?
That was my game plan pretty much. Just draw out some of his attacks, but he took his time tonight. He didn't I think he respected me as well. Like I did respect him. I respected his power. I felt his power. And yeah, you know, I can handle that Polish thing. Yeah, that was the game plan pretty much. He didn't rush as much as I thought because he respected me, which is, you know, rightfully so. But also he respected the fact that I got up from his takedowns early on. It wasn't until the last round, I credit him for this. He timed it well. And then I'll have to have a look at the tape and see where my mind was at. But he just timed it well with that takedown. And then I had a good lockdown. I was trying to get the deep half when I had the lockdown, but also he wouldn't make space to punch. He did the whole pitter patter thing because he was just gonna steal the round. Because he knew, like, if he gave me space, I'm slippery, man. I'm slippery, and I was gonna get back up. So credit to him. He's a great champion.
The later rounds, as you said, were kind of clear in scoring with the takedowns. I think some of the earlier rounds, maybe not as much. I mean, what did you guys, I mean, you ended up only getting one round, the third. What did you guys think about the scoring as it was playing out?
Yeah, it wasn't that you know, big of a difference. I don't know about those 10-8 rounds, and I don't know about those some of those scorecards from the judges. But yeah, I lost the fight to the better fighter tonight, the craftier fighter tonight. And yeah, but it wasn't like an ass whooping or anything. Like when he had me on the ground, you know, if he had postured up and then wailed on me and thrown some crazy elbows and crazy punches and connected crazy, yeah, I can say, yeah, give it a 10-8, give it a 10-7 even. Use the whole 10-point must system, but it wasn't none of that. He just held on and just, you know, snuck some shots in to try and keep it busy enough that the referee doesn't stand it up. And that's a veteran move because he's a veteran in this game.
I know you want to let this thing soak in, but I mean, at this moment, any regrets? I mean, obviously you took a big chance here, right? I mean, you rolled the dice and it didn't pay off. Any regrets?
No regrets. No regrets. Like I said, this is like, I don't know. I feel like boxing or the boxing module or model has made it a bad thing to lose, which is, yeah, it sucks losing. Don't get me wrong, but it's not like the end of the world. Like I said, I've lost before in the past. And like, you know, one of my friend, BDK, rest in peace. I've lost many times, but I remain undefeated. You know, it's about this. Like right now, me and my team, we're just excited to get back home and work on certain little details because I was drawing them out. He was trying to parry my jab, and I had an opening for my changeup. And yeah, he had good defense. He had an answer for a lot of things that I was throwing at him. But as well, I caught him a few times. I didn't hurt him, but he didn't hurt me either. But yeah, it is what it is.
Nice. Last thing for me, I know you want to kind of go back to the drawing board, but do you see a career path for yourself right now? I mean, is it, hey, let's just go dominate 185 and show what we can do? Do you still like, hey, I want to still entertain, maybe a move back to 205 at some point? I mean, what's the plan?
Definitely. You'll see me back at 205 later in the future. But right now, I go to division, I got to dominate. And I know they're going to be thinking, oh, that's it. You just got to take him down. And then that's it. You got him. I'm like, all right, cool, bet. But I'll remind them again why I'm the king at 185.
Izzy, to your right.
What's up, Kev?
How much do you think his size was a factor, like that you weren't able to hurt him with any of the counters that you threw or anything? Do you think that his size helped him and take some of the shots?
No, I wouldn't say the size because I can't hurt big dudes. I think it was just his defense. He was really tight with his defense and smart with his defense. And also, like I said, he was not as careless with his offense like he usually is. You see him in the past where he was just like, kind of march 1-2, 1-2, throwing like these weird angle punches, but he didn't. I was ready for those. I was even trying to draw them out certain times. I'd shake and bake and, you know, invite him to like lunge, but he didn't. So yeah, he played it safe. He knew he had to respect my game, and so did I. I respected his game, but his size didn't really make that much of a factor until the last round when my legs just got fatigued, but my lungs were still fine.
I know you pay a lot of attention to, excuse me, what goes on. Do you feel like from what you've seen, this was the best he's ever fought in the UFC?
I have to watch the fight again to see what it looked like. What it felt like was different. I wouldn't say it was the best he's ever fought from what I saw, but I have to watch the fight. But I don't think so. It was a lot closer than the judges were trying to make it out to be, you know?
And obviously the whole thing about you trying to make history was got people interested in the fight. You also had the feud with John, right? The personal thing. And I know you wanted to fight John. Now that John is a heavyweight and you've been in there with a light heavyweight, is that out of the picture now, or do you still feel like in a couple months or whatever years you could fight John?
Never say never. Never say never. But right now, like I said, I'm going back down to 185 and getting my work done. But yeah, fuck that nigga anyway. It's all good.
So busy. When you look at how you played the tactics of the 205-pound debut in the UFC, do you, when you do move up again, will you still keep the same strategy of not putting on any extra weight and trying to keep yourself faster?
Yeah, I'll have to think about that. My team and I will have to think about that. But right now, yeah, I honestly, I could have won this fight. This is not like blah, 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 blah. But tonight, he played a better game plan and he was a better fighter tonight. That's it. Like, he respected me and I respected him. And we had a great showing of ourselves. But yeah, I'm not like, heartbroken. I hate losing, don't get me wrong, but I'm not like, oh my God, fuck, he really embarrassed me. Like, that was it. Like, I'm fucking, yeah, nah. I felt like I had a great showing for myself. I represented my team very well. But now we go back to the drawing board and it's kind of fun. Like, I look forward to, like, this is the dip in my story. You know what I mean? This is the bit where, the valley, if you will. And then I rise up again like the phoenix that I am.
There's a moment in the third round, I think, where he tried like a jumping knee and you both had a little exchange and a laugh. Were you guys talking to each other or just sort of acknowledging?
I can't remember what I said, but I kind of giggled because I was like, yeah, like, nice try. But yeah, the guy's a good fighter. And he felt me. Like, I took his best punches. And, everyone was like, when you get touched by this guy, you go to sleep. I'm awake. He grabbed me double underhooks and took me down. I got back up when he gave me space. And there was another one where I think I stuffed it or I broke his grip. And then he kneed me in the face on the way up and I was right on him again. And I could hear him breathing heavy and I knew, like, right. But he just had his defense really tight for this fight. He wasn't as careless as I was expecting because I was expecting a careless Jan. And I thought I would draw out some mistakes from which I did, but then he was able to fix those mistakes on the fly. So, man, credit to the guy and his team. They put on one hell of a game plan and they got their guy ready for me.
Last thing for me, were you surprised? Because I know going into this, you were expecting his left body kick.
Yeah.
And were you surprised that he didn't really throw that and that he
did, but not as much.
Right. Yeah. And he seemed to check your right kick to his shin. You seemed to check it.
Yeah, but the inside leg kick when I was southpaw was hitting him, and I was liking that. And I was going back to it, but then he started checking it. But I still went back to it, and when I faked it, he was biting. He was biting on a lot of the things I was throwing. But like I said, I just have to watch the fight again, and then have my my infamous post-fight shower, so I can just dissect everything and get away from all the noise and really see what was going on, because there was certain I was so lucid, I was so calm, I could hear everything, I could feel everything, and it was just it was one of those things where I felt like I was in the moment, but yeah, it just wasn't my moment tonight.
Is he right here? I'm curious. I know you said you have to go watch the fight again, but in the fight, did you think the fight was a 2-2 going into the final round?
I didn't even know it was the fourth. I was like, when I heard it was the fourth round, I was like, oh shit, I thought it was the third. I was just having fun in there. I was so lucid, and I felt myself. I was smirking a little bit. I was smiling at certain things when I knew I had him, and yeah, there was certain. I didn't really score. I wasn't scoring the fight. I was just trying to score points. I wasn't trying to knock him out, take him out, but I was trying to score points and just touch him. Like I said, just keep touching him, because trust me, I can drop these guys. I've done it before, and I'll do it again, but I can drop these guys. And yeah, I wasn't scoring it, so I didn't really know what it was, but I'm telling you, some of those judges, they at least need to train. There needs to be some kind of criteria before you start judging MMA, and not just get some guys from boxing have a look at this MMA fight and judge. At least you need to get down with the business.
And you mentioned the scoring. Would you prefer to know the score going into rounds? So if you didn't know it was the fifth round, all of a sudden you do, and you see maybe you're down.
I should have known. I think I should have known it was the fifth round, but I wasn't I'm not playing this game like that. Pitter patter. My gang, they let me know okay, this is the fifth round. I kind of heard someone mention it to the ref, and I was like, oh shit, we are in the fifth round. But I knew it was the fourth round because I heard someone mention that as well. But I don't know. That's a good question. That might be a good thing. That might be a good thing.
And Invicta does it a few times. They show.
Oh, fuck it. Yeah. Then let them know. This is round 4. This is round 3. Or maybe even scores like during the round, so you know if you're behind or not. I think. Wait, does Invicta let you know if you're behind?
They show the corner, and then it's up to the corner if they want to tell you what the score is.
That's smart. Let's do that then. Fuck it. Why don't we do it? That seems really smart. I like the fact that we have instant replays now. I don't know why that took so long as well. I'm sure they have a group chat that they can all just text each other, NSCA, you know. I think that's a really smart idea. So yeah, get it done. So that way, if my corner wants to tell me, like, yo, we need this round, I can, because I saw him getting tired. He would trust me, I was fresh. He was getting tired. And the size played a factor in the 5th round.
Then you had a couple teammates on this card. I know Carlos came up short, but he got the 50,000 bonus in a kind of fun fight, and then Kai got the big spectacular win. So what'd you make of their performances?
I was inspired by both of them, by Carlos because of the way he showed himself in the 1st round. But it's one of these things that you just have to experience it. You know, you just have to get in the game, get the feel for it. He got into the 2nd round, I think, for the first time in a long time, but in the UFC, really feel the fatigue. And yeah, his opponent was game. Bro, that guy is tough. I mean, he is Nigerian, but yeah, like he is tough. And it was just like, there was a point he looked at Herb D and goes, I'm okay. And I'm thinking like, he's eating shots to the body and to the face. And he's looking like, what's his name? Derek Lewis would say, he's okay. But yeah, credit to him. And Kai, perseverance, man. I don't know what it was, but there was a bit where homeboy pulled him back down and then tried to sink the choke it, and Kai just fought like hell with the top hand, and it was like this never say die attitude. And I think it's that dad strength, man. Like that, you know, he's the new papa as well.
That's literally what he said.
Yeah, Kobe, I could see it. And also Eugene had an interview earlier on at the gym when we had a presser, and he talked about what they work with Kai when it comes to, like, you know, if the fight's not going your way, and he put that on full display tonight. Like, his perseverance was inspiring, and the fact that he even told me in the hotel, he's just like, he could feel him getting tired. And he thought to himself, just get up. He's like, all right, bet. Got up and just fucked him up.
Israel right here. I want to know a lot of yourself. You know, you're a very confident guy. You've always portrayed that.
Still am.
You're undefeated. I mean, I want to know, you seem to be taking this really well. How much have you ever thought about what your first loss, if you ever experienced it, would be like?
Like I told you guys, I've lost in kickboxing. I've lost in boxing. I've lost in life. I've lost in love. I've lost in family. Like, life is, you know, you don't just win all the time. It's wins and losses. So you roll with the punches, pun. But, you know, it is what it is. I don't think about these things. Like, this was an option. In another parallel universe, I'm the double champ, and it all went, you know, the way I expected it to. But in this one, I came up short tonight, but, you know, I'm still here. When I go home, my team is still there. They love me. Nothing changes. You know, my family, my loved ones, I just called all of them, the ones that I give a fuck about, and they all love me. When I go home and I see Toothless and Millie, they're gonna see me and lick me, and they'll still love me. So that's all that matters. And at the end of the day, I leave here with a few mil, and I'm happy about that.
You said expect the unexpected with the walkout. You really did that. That was probably the most chill vibe. How far in advance did you know that's how you wanted to come out for this one?
Well, that track, one time in lockdown before the Costa fight, me and the boys went bike riding, and we, you know, with a few fun guys, and yeah, we were vibing, and I had that track in my head on repeat while I was vibing, while I was on a trip, and it was beautiful. And that track just puts me in this frequency where I just felt calm and at ease and in the moment. And I picked the track maybe 2 days ago, and I was like, yeah, that's the track I want to vibe with. And it was perfect. I felt that. And even his track was quite stoic as well and very airy. And I like that vibe. But yeah, it is what it is. I mean, my interests are for me only. They're not really for anyone else. I could sell my interests to some artists because people always offer me like, oh, I'll give you this much if you walk out to my song. I'm sure I could do that, but it's not really for anyone else but myself.
The trip home, are we going to 2-week quarantine again?
Yeah.
Are we going to get internet easy, or do you already have other plans how you want to kill some time?
We'll figure it out. Well, I mean, I'm getting into Twitch now. I've got a green screen, got a whole Alienware set up. And I think by the time I get home, I've got this 34-inch or 38-inch curved monitor alongside with the one that my brother already, shout out to my brother David as well. He set this whole thing up. And yeah, I look forward to just like getting into that esports world a little bit. But Internet Izzy, hey man, if you want to talk that shit, guess what? I'll clap back, and I clap hard.
Thank you.
Easy.
Hey, Izzy, you've already beaten 3 of the 4 guys I'm about to mention, but who's most deserving to face you for the middleweight strap between the winners of Till and Vittori and Costa and Whitaker?
I've already stated I would like to fight Till if he can get it done. But who's the most deserving? We'll have to wait and see. Show me something. And I know they all think, oh, that's it. We've seen the chink in his armor now. But I'll tell you one thing. Every time in my life that I've lost in combat sports, I come back and I fuck the next guy up. I knock them out, actually, because guess what? My team and I, we go back and do the work, and we know what to work on. You see Kai tonight? You see what happened? I'm telling you, like, this is what we do. Even Eugene was telling me, like, I'm excited to go back and to the drawing board so we know what to work on. I'm excited as well because I'm like, fuck, I thought I'd be able to like handle his top game better. But like I said, he knew, because after I got up from the first one, he knew if he gave me space, what would happen? I'd slip away. I even like had his chin at one point. I thought, should I go for guillotine? I was like, nah, slip it. I'll let that one go. But yeah, I'm excited to go back home and work again on myself.
What did the Polish power feel like compared to the middleweights, the 20-pound difference between the two?
I know what people mean. I know what they mean. Like that. It's like this, that thud. But there was this kickboxer. I don't want to say the name, but like he met me in China one time, and he's like, I know you. I saw you fight in Turkey. Man, you got a great chin. And that's what he remembered about me. And I was like, oh, yuck. Like, I don't want to be remembered for being a tough guy. Like I said, I like to hit and don't get hit. So I'm not worried about getting hit. I just don't like to get hit because I like to do the hitting. But yeah. Wait, repeat the question. I rambled there for a little bit.
I don't even remember.
Fuck it, Shmo.
How did the 20 pounds feel?
The weight. Oh yeah, it just felt that thud. It's just like a thud, but I didn't get rocked. I didn't get flashed. Everyone said, oh, the Polish power, legendary Polish power. If you get touched by it, you're gonna sleep. But I'm still awake.
And then the last question, you want to be known as the greatest of all time MMA history. That's the goal, that's the journey. Where does this moment stack up along the way? When you reflect, how are you going to remember this?
Like I said, tonight I lost to a great champion, a deserving guy as well. I'm happy for him because in his story, like I said, he was, I think, 2 to 4 in the UFC on his way to getting cut, comes back, and fuck, I gotta go find someone in the woods who's hanging and get their rope or something. Do some crazy juju. I'm Nigerian, so I can go back home and get some juju as well. But yeah, he went on a tear and did his thing, became champion, and then he's the guy to hand me my first loss in MMA. That's a great story for him. So I'm happy for him, like actually, and I don't know if that's believable, but I don't really give a fuck. I actually feel happy for him. And it's not one of these ones where it's like, I got to get that back. Like, I need to get that back. Like, if I never fight him again, so be it. Like, he's a great champion. If I was, even Eugene said, if we're going to lose to anyone, it would be that guy. Like, it's a pleasure to share the cage with a cool guy like that. In this game with a lot of douchebags and a lot of, I don't want to say what I want to say, but yeah, like, it's a pleasure to share a cage with someone like that. And like I said, you can ask him, he was tired. I was fresh. So he used his crafty veteran moves to take me down in that last round. And then he did what he did. He scored and secured the round. So credit to him.
Israel, back here to your right. Very important question. What kind of pizza were you eating yesterday morning at weigh-ins?
It was a pepperoni one. But then later on, we had like 5 or 6 pizzas in the room. Even bigger ones, like New York size pizzas, and we had different flavors. So I had like 6 giant slices or 4 giant slices last night. Yeah, and that's why I lost it. Not jokes. I'm joking.
With a bottle of wine too, I imagine.
Nah, no wine, it's just lines. I joke.
How much did you actually weigh in the cage today? Do you know?
With all this on, I took this jacket off, but I was 201 pounds, 0.6 or some shit. But I'm sure I was probably around 200 or 199, maybe, if you strip me down.
And last thing for me, what was it like fighting in the Apex? I mean, you fought on Fight Island. Obviously, you fought in front of full full houses before, but what was it like fighting here?
It was cool. I mean, this whole smaller cage thing did you see me get trapped? Did you see me get, held against the fence for long? I'm pretty sure when I was against the fence, I was able to get off within 30 seconds. Yeah, this whole smaller cage thing is a myth to me. For the rest of everyone else, sure, it makes a difference, but for me, it's a myth because my footwork is still great, and yeah, I can hack the system.
What about just the vibe in there? Like when
The
you're fighting?
vibe, compared to the Abu Dhabi Fight Island, the vibe, nah, I was pretty present. I don't know. It was just felt like a death match being streamed to the rest of the world. Yeah, like some crazy shit. That's what Fight Island felt like as well, like some private island with some illegal fight to the death, and it's being streamed to the rest of the world underground. I like that shit. I love this life.
Thanks, man.
Easy.
Izzy, you said you're going to go back down to middleweight, but it sounds like you still have aspirations for light heavyweight.
Possibly heavyweight.
Or heavyweight? All right. What do you take from this for when you do come back? What would you change?
What would I change? That's a good question. I'll have to give you an honest answer another time, if I'm being honest, because I don't want to speak, I guess out of turn. It's still fresh. I haven't had my shower yet to really digest a lot of this. But what do I take from this? I mean, like I said, dare to be great, I'm still alive. I didn't really get outclassed, it was just, wasn't my night because the other guy was, better tonight. And I'm telling you, in another timeline, I beat this guy. Another timeline, he beats me in a different way. Like, there's so many different ways this could have ended up. But tonight, in this timeline, he was the better fighter tonight. So yeah, I just have to really sit with it and sit with my team, and we can decide exactly what we'll do next time. Because this is the game. This is what we do. We go back, reassess, adjust, and try again.
And one last thing, moving up that much weight, did your body feel any different? Like, you're able to perform just as well as?
I felt great. There's no excuses on my part. I felt great. I felt calm in the back, eerily calm. The nerves, I was dealing with it well. I channeled it well so I can use it to my own advantage. Yeah, it's just in the cage. I just have to watch the fight again to see what mistakes were made on my part and what mistakes I didn't capitalize on, because I was making him make mistakes. Shit that I would have normally caught other people with. Somehow his defense was tighter than I expected. And also he came with a good game plan. So I just have to watch the tape, and yeah, we'll reassess and see what we do.
All right.
Is that it? Cool. Thanks, you guys. And also, wait, one more thing. Everyone who supports me, all my people, I appreciate you. I'm sorry I didn't I know the fact that I like to make my fans be proud, when they say what I'm gonna do, what I've already said, being champ or double champ or whatever. So I'm sorry I let you down, but if you want to hop off the hype train, bro, get the fuck off the hype train. We're just stopping for a little gas. Understand? You can get the fuck off. But if you want to stick with me, and trust me, I'll show you a good time. It's gonna be a fun ride, all right? And I appreciate y'all. Mwah.
Fala, pessoal. Me diz se o som tá bom, por favor. Vocês querem que eu dê uma resumida na design? Deixa eu terminar o que o Dana White falou, por favor. Vamos lá. Antes do Bakovic chegar. Ele abriu as portas, né, para revanche. A revanche imediata do Sterling contra o Peter Yan. O Yang foi desclassificado por aplicar um golpe legal. Ele provocou a Chris Cyborg, disse ele, né, no Instagram, dias atrás. E o Cyborg está aqui em Vegas treinando com a Rafaela Errara. Ela estacionou a van dela, que tem todo o design, Cyborg Nation, da academia dela, estacionou aqui do lado do UFC. Perguntaram para ele o que ele achou disso. Ele falou, touché, ela manda bem. Sobre o Texas, né? O estado americano do Texas. O governador disse que ia reabrir o estado por inteiro. E aí o Dana White disse que queria fazer o evento do final desse mês lá. Só que ele conversou com prefeitos da cidade de Dallas e Houston e os prefeitos vetaram. Então, o estado não está reaberto por completo. E agora, imagino eu, ele trabalha com a possibilidade de levar o cardio numerado de abril para o estado do Texas. O Adesanya se mostrou, perdeu super bem, né? Digamos assim, entre aspas. Foi super profissional, elogiou a postura do campeão Blachowicz, elogiou a performance do Blachowicz. Também falou que, por ele, seria interessante fazer como, se não me engano, o Invicta faz, que no intervalo dos rounds, eles informam o corner como está a pontuação dos jurados e a decisão do corner informar o atleta ou não. Isso se mostrou favorável, gostaria que adotassem isso no UFC. Sobre... Ele cravou que vai lutar como peso médio e não mostrou favorito. Se é o vencedor da luta do Guarantee, o vencedor da luta do Borrachinha não quis opinar. Ele só falou, me mostrem algo, me convençam. Blachowicz chegou.
Jan, congratulations on a big win for you in your career. What's the emotions like right now after being the underdog yet again and handing this guy his first loss?
What can I say? Just happy, pure happiness. I defend my belt. Now I'm proved that I'm true champion. I think now I'm gonna have respect from everybody, nobody, And in the next fight, I will not gonna be underdog anymore. I think so, but I don't care anyway. I can do good.
This ended up being a very tactical fight, right? I mean, very, the stand-up game throughout. Obviously, the takedowns were big at the end, but really interesting the way it unfolded. Did it play out at all like you thought it would?
No. I told before the fight that I plan to knock him out, in the second round. But he's a great fighter, good fighter, so he don't let me go. But I should start resting a little bit earlier. But he keep distance really well, so I cannot catch him. He kicked really hard. I feel it, my leg right now. And I should put a little bit more pressure on him and use more boxing skills on him, But anyway, I was a little bit better, that was close fight, tough fight, but I was a little bit better. And finally, I find a way how to take him down and control him on the ground and win the fight and defend the belt. First time in my life. Amazing feeling.
I was going to ask you about the takedowns. Obviously, the 4th and 5th round, that was key. But you did look for the takedown a little early, but what changed? Did you change your approach? Did he tire a little bit? What happened?
Because he was really tricky, He stand up really, really nice. And I take him down in the second round, I think so. And he stand up really fast. In the third round, also in the second round, I don't remember, I catch him the guillotine or something like this, and also was tricky move, and then he escaped, So just I need to know that I have to wait a little bit longer when he's gonna be a little bit tired, and then I will take him down, control fight on the ground, and I just wait for the good moment.
Nice. The later rounds were clear that you won, but the first couple rounds were really, really close. So when you went to the judge, what did you think? Did you and your team think you had won, or were you a little concerned?
I was sure that I'm gonna win this fight. Even Glover Teixeira come to the cage. It was better. And after the fight, also Habib said that you won 3 rounds from fight. So, and I feel that I was a little bit better. He throw more kicks, but I throw more punches by boxing. So, yeah. And after that I controlled fight on the ground. That's why I won the fight.
Dana was here earlier, and he said while he was in the cage, you turned to him and said, "You don't believe in me." Why was that the message to him? Why do you believe he doesn't?
That was asking, you don't believe in me? And he, no, I truly believe in you, And that's it, And after that, I thanks for everything what he do for us, for the fighters, that we can fight, have a job. So Dana, one more time, thank you for everything.
Can you compare this to winning the title? What the feeling is like defending it versus winning it?
I don't know, I'll tell you tomorrow. But it's it tastes different a little bit, you know, because I was the champion. Now but I defend my belt. So I proved that I'm true champion, you know. So I don't know yet, but taste, you know, always when you want to fight, it's amazing feeling. But right now, because I won against someone like Israel, one of the best in the world. Now he got 20-1, so he's gonna remember me to the end of his life. The first one who defeat him in MMA, and that's much better, you know. amazing. But go to Poland, you know. Great feeling, amazing. One more time.
Last thing for me, I know you said you'd be interested in fighting Glover Teixeira next. Dana was here and he said, yeah, that's probably the next fight to make. It looked like you were limping a little, the legs are sore, but how soon do you want to fight? If that's the fight, how soon do you want to make it happen?
Now, short break, minimum half-year break, you know. I won't spend sometimes with my family because, you know, I am a father, 2.5 months. My child was born and my son, and I don't spend many time with him, you know, because I have to prepare for my fight. My fiance take care of it, so thank you, Dorota, for everything. Now I take care of you after when you come back to Poland and we spend time together and have some fun. So yeah, if you want to wait a little bit longer, he's gonna be my next opponent.
Jan, I'm curious, you know, when you started in the UFC, 2-4, you know, it wasn't always the best. And now tonight, you just handed the first loss to one of the biggest stars in mixed martial arts. When you sit back and you think about it, what do you think about most about your journey to get here?
Motivation, believing in your dreams. And that's it. And my coach, you know, he is the, you know, the creator of this success. You know, my whole team, my friends, my family, everything who, you know, around me is just perfect, you know. And that's it, you know. Together we find a way how to be the best. So thanks, coach, one more time for everything.
I wasn't sure how it worked, but did you bring the rope? Like, is it a bracelet now? There it is.
Yeah. My fiance, she have it because she was in my corner, so she have it on her hand. So she bring me lock again.
When you're not fighting, where do you keep that? Like, is it just sitting in your, you know, next to the bed at home? Is it in the living room?
Special place at home. I take it only when something important happens in my life because, you know, I don't use it too much. You know, always when something happens important, then I will take it and make me lock.
I find this surprising. You know, I think a lot of people don't talk about it. 38 years old. Usually other fighters, this is where they slow down, and you're at easily the best of your career. What do you think has helped you that you're at the top in this point in your career?
No, because everybody is different, and I think I just find a way how to be the best, you know. I know my body, I know what I need, I know what I just know, you know, what I have to eat, what I have to drink, when I have to, you know, push a little bit harder, when to stop, you know, because everybody know how to train hard, but you need to know how to train smart. And thanks to this knowledge, I just know how to be, you know, in the good shape in this age. Not only thanks to me, but also thanks to my whole team, you know.
My final question, we know you bring the legendary Polish power. You just have a new baby at home. Do you now change legendary Polish diapers?
Yes, I do this a couple of times. When they come back, I will do this a little bit more. So I know how to do this. I'm ready.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hey, Jan, back here. Congratulations on your win. Yesterday, when I spoke to you, you told me you would let me know afterwards that now after sharing the octagon with Israel for 25 minutes, where do you rank his skill set amongst the other guys that you fought?
One of the toughest opponents in my life, you know, in this shape what I have, because I have a really good shape and it was really tough fight, you know. So yeah, one of the toughest.
Thank you. Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah, and there was a lot of talk about Israel moving up to light heavyweight. You felt his punches and his kicks. Did he feel like a light heavyweight or did he feel like a middleweight who was fighting heavier?
We have to ask him. I think for sure he feel, you know, light heavyweight on the ground, you know. Maybe in stand-up, you know, not so much, but when I take him ground, he feel the difference between, you know, his category and 205.
When he was here, he said that if he had to lose to anybody, there's no one better to lose to than a man like yourself. Do you appreciate those comments from him?
Yeah, you know, it's great to hear something like this from people like you know, Israel, because, you know, he still is one of the best in the world, you know, great fighter, great person. So it was a pleasure for me that I can fight against someone like him. So thank you for the fight, Israel.
I think it's probably one of your finest career performances to date. Do you think fighting someone as good as him brings the best out in you?
You know, I just like challenges, you know, and I will be ready for everybody.
Thank you.
Jan, what did you see the Aljamain Sterling Peter Yan ending?
Yeah, I saw that.
What did you make of the illegal knee and Jan and Peter losing his title disqualification?
No, that was illegal knee for sure. Yeah, but I think they make rematch and we will see this fight again. But yeah, I would don't want to be the champion after fight like this. You know, for sure they have to make a rematch.
Then as the champion, I'm sure you paid attention to the other fight on this card in your weight class. What did you make of Alexander Ratchik's win?
I watch only Peter Yan, Amanda Nunes, and Rakic against Santos. I don't see any different fights, so only this.
Jan, back here. You know, you're a former KSW light heavyweight champion, and I'm just curious, you know, if you continue to follow the promotion, if you've seen Thomas Narkun and what you think of his potential in MMA.
You know, we train together sometimes. He helped me, I help him. So this cooperation is really good for both of us. We are friends. He's a good fighter. And if someday we go to maybe he go to UFC, I don't know what he has planned. So for sure, he's gonna be in the top of this division. I believe in that. But he need to, you know, first sign the contract.
Right. Do you guys kind of have a little friendly rivalry of maybe who's the best light heavyweight from Poland?
Not the question. I am the best, you know. I'm the best in the world, not in the Poland, you know. So it's
Fair
a simple answer.
Fair enough. Congratulations.
Thank you. Sit. Okay, thank you.
Can we get a picture?
Yeah.
Fala pessoal, tem bastante gente ainda aqui, deixa eu ver. 90 pessoas. Bom, o Blakovic elogiou o Adesanya, disse que quer enfrentar o Glover, mencionou que mandou uma mensagem pro Dan ali, né? Por que você não confia em mim, né? Fazendo uma brincadeira. Mencionou no início da coletiva que quem sabe na próxima ele não é azarão, lembrando que ele era o azarão aqui para a luta, né? Mas é isso, pessoal. Fique por dentro aí do site, que acompanha o site hojefight.com. Deixe seu like, se inscreva no canal. Muito obrigado. E vou encerrar aqui a coletiva, tá? Obrigadão.